Get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. For tough, good-looking roofs, it's Tamco Shingles from Alabama Wholesale Lumber. For great folks and great prices, call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Hi, everybody. This week we're getting back to more of a routine weather pattern. Maybe a couple of isolated evening showers and storms before they fade out tonight. Overnight low temperature falls to about 73. Partial sunshine tomorrow. I think the storms will be a little bit more numerous in the afternoon and evening hours, but random. High temperatures near 90 tomorrow. I think we'll be in the upper 80s on Wednesday and Thursday, with again a generous supply of random storms in the afternoon and evening hours. And storms will thin out again in number on Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. Live local talk, the River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat like they haven't seen before. This is not simply another four-year election. This is a crossroads in the history of our civilization that will determine whether or not we, the people, reclaim control over our government. The political establishment that is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment has brought about the destruction of our factories and our jobs as they flee to Mexico, China, and other countries all around the world. It's a global power structure that is responsible for the economic decisions that have robbed our working class, stripped our country of its wealth, and put that money into the pockets of a handful of large corporations and political entities. This is a struggle for the survival of our nation, and this will be our last chance to save it. This election will determine whether we're a free nation or whether we have only the illusion of democracy, but are in fact controlled by a small handful of global special interests rigging the system, and our system is rigged. This is reality. You know it, they know it, I know it, and pretty much the whole world knows it. The Clinton machine is at the center of this power struggle. We've seen this firsthand in the WikiLeaks documents, in which Hillary Clinton meets in secret with international banks to plot the destruction of U.S. sovereignty in order to enrich these global financial powers, her special interest friends, and her donors. Honestly, she should be locked up. The most powerful weapon deployed by the Clintons is the corporate media, the press. Let's be clear on one thing. The corporate media in our country is no longer involved in journalism. They're a political special interest, no different than any lobbyist or other financial entity with a total political agenda, and the agenda is not for you, it's for themselves. Anyone who challenges their control is deemed a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe. They will lie, and then again, they will do worse than that. They will do whatever is necessary. The Clintons are criminals, remember that. This is well documented. And the establishment that protects them has engaged in a massive cover-up of widespread criminal activity at the State Department and the Clinton Foundation in order to keep the Clintons in power. They knew they would throw every lie they could at me and my family and my loved ones. They knew they would stop at nothing to try to stop me. Nevertheless, I take all of these slings and arrows gladly for you. I take them for our movement so that we can have our country back. I knew this day would arrive. It's only a question of when. And I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. Our great civilization has come upon a moment of reckoning. I didn't need to do this, friends, believe me. I built a great company, and I had a wonderful life. I could have enjoyed the fruits and benefits of years of successful business deals and businesses for myself and my family, instead of going through this absolute horror show of lies, deceptions, malicious attacks. Who would have thought? I'm doing it because this country has given me so much, and I feel so strongly that it's my turn to give back to the country that I love. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again.
Calling all stations, clear the air lanes, clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
It is the big broadcast. Happy hour. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV. Hope you had a great Dad's Day weekend. I did. David Blackman joining us at 3:30 for the Idiocracy, and a special surprise next.
And here they are.
What's the big special surprise? You get one guess.
Happy New Year with Prince Thomas Weather.
Here's the surprise. Uncle Chi-Chi. In this heat, you've got to be.
Hi.
In this heat, you've got to be shirtless by now, right?
No, not when I'm radar watching there, buddy.
Yeah.
let's
What's going on, man? First of all, the heat
let's
index
just
is
talk
103.
Yeah, well, yeah, and in fact, with a temperature of 92 and a dew point of 74, it is tropical out there, and that's the stage for thunderstorms. And I see a lot of popcorn showers and storms on the radar right now. Alexander City, Greenville, Troy. You see these little popcorn showers and thunderstorms. But what I want to talk to you about is later on tonight, when there could be a little bit more drama in the state with an area of showers and thunderstorms, which has not yet really congealed up there in northwest Alabama, that will be sweeping southeastward as we go through the evening and nighttime hours tonight. In fact, there's already a severe thunderstorm watch as far south as covering Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Demopolis, not quite down to Clanton, not quite down to Alexander City, but that's till 7 p.m. tonight. There'll be a little line of thunderstorms, a cluster of storms that we call in the business an MCS. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Usually storms fade out in the early evening hours, but that's not going to be the case tonight. So there'll be some fireworks a little bit later on. Some models as early as 9 o'clock. Most models are closer to 10, 11 o'clock. Some models as late as midnight. But a line or a cluster of storms that'll be moving into central Alabama that may trigger your weather alerts on our weather app, or may trigger your weather radio as far as warnings go. So some stronger storms with a marginal severe weather risk and damaging wind gusts the main threat. This is really not a tornado situation. But I just want to let you know, this is summertime. This is the first full day of summer. And with 92 degrees and a dew point of 74, sure, there's bound to be some fireworks. But tonight, a little bit later on in the evening and nighttime hours, we could be rocking and rolling with some storms tonight, and I just want to let you know. But you can tell by my voice that my level of worry is not too strong. You know,
I know you like a book. Hey, I got good news.
Yeah. What is it?
That's fresh information of a positive nature, but that's not important right now. Thank you. You don't miss a cue. The chicken and the cheese were saved. Chase will not go hungry tomorrow.
Great. We had a refrigerator meltdown.
I don't know.
I guess you would say.
Company refrigerators, they just don't hold up well.
We lost the kitchen, so a little makeshift small refrigerator that got iced over and needed to be defrosted today. Now you're up to date.
I appreciate it, buddy. And if there's a need for further information, feel free.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
But there are some, besides that line of storms I talked about late tonight, you could get any of these popcorn showers and storms that I'm looking at on the radar right now, and you can look at it on the radar as well. But it is summertime, and this is par for the course.
I have permission to read the radar.
Yeah.
I see them out there, those little popcorny things.
Actually, there you go.
Right now, a fat cloud that would just cast some shade would be welcome,
It is a hot and humid summer day.
All right, buddy. Have a good one. We'll see you in the morning.
Right, see you.
All right. 314. Lots to talk about. We're going to get into the meaty stuff with David Blackman, and there's a ton there. I wrote my magazine column today. Never thought I'd write about soccer, but I did, because we're about to celebrate the country's 250th birthday. And the legacy media loves to dwell on the unhappy and the Les Miserables within America and up their ass. I'm so sick of whiny, bitchy little pizzwits with their, this isn't good. Hey, how was Juneteenth weekend in Chicago? What was the death toll up there? Mass shootings. We had one here. Dr. David Thrasher is going to be with us on Wednesday afternoon at 3:30. But I posted his missive on my Facebook page, and hundreds of people have stopped to read it. I understand Joey read it as well on his show, which is great. But enough is enough. We have incompetent leadership. We have underfunded police. I don't want to hear any more beazle schmeazit from this mayor or any of the clown show downtown. You are ruining this city. And we all know where the problem is, so do something about it. I don't want any initiatives. I don't want any intellectual BS. Stuff has to change, or you'll be living here alone. Unbelievable. In this piece I wrote today for the July Boom magazine, I hope you'll read the current one, because it's all about our POW buddy who spent 2,703 days in a Vietnamese prison camp, Bill Robinson. You can go to riverregionboom.com. It's called Here's to You, Mr. Robinson. I pointed out that I did a little comparison between 1976 and 2026. And back then, we were at the mercy of OPEC, and we had crappily built cars that could only go 55 because that's what the law was, because we were at the mercy of OPEC. We had not embraced energy independence like we do today. By the way, oil prices are down from what I understand. David Blackman's an expert in this field, so we'll talk to him and get more information on what to expect. But I mentioned in 1976, our big cities were decaying and bankrupt. And they still are, because we turn to the dumbest life form for solutions, politicians. They don't know how to fix anything. They only know how to keep the machine going long enough to line their pockets and move along. Few and far between are the people that really give a rat's ass about what happens to you. Senator Tuberville is one of them. So, Mr. Reed, I would suggest you get your you-know-what together and put law and order down as a priority immediately, because the governor to be says the cavalry is coming. I want to see a forensic audit of this city. I want laws passed that will hold the mayors accountable and put an end to this crap show. I wish I could use the words I really like to use, but it would be gauche. I won't. Oh, I'm not even on the YouTube feed. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Again, David Blackman coming up in a few minutes. And something exciting and new happening on the show. You know, I've been with Clark's for almost 2 decades. I've known the Clark's family going to Rick and Bobby. And now Robbie Clark going independent. And I'm so excited. You know, this family has a particular genius for this particular business. And I got to tell you, how do I put it? They can, if they can make me understand what's wrong with the system or what needs to be fixed, they've done everything for me. The Clark family, from teaching me the miracle of insulation to the proficiency of a new unit, and all of these services are now available with Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning. And I'm so excited for him because the guy's a freaking genius. That's all I can tell you. And he's one of the friendliest people you will ever have into your home for a service. So I hope that you will embrace this and keep in mind, you know, you can do, he's got 20 plus years of experience. He's not just starting out. He's starting out with his own business now. And again, because of my history with them, I can't recommend them highly enough. Service agreements starting at $149 for one system for the year. The number you need to call is 334-245-3644. 334-245-3644 for Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning. And welcome to the Blue Water family, Robbie. It's great to have you. All right, Skipper's keeping an eye on traffic. Let's check in with him real quick and see if the traffic is how the temperature is outside.
Well, we have 2 accidents, 85 northbound right before shorter exit. All off on the right. We got 2 18-wheelers, 3 pickup trucks, and a car. Minor, though, no injuries there. And 65 northbound at the ramp to Fort Deposit. We have a minor accident there. Light to moderate traffic everywhere else. Keep it here. We'll keep you updated. At Thompson Tractor, their new service commitment includes next-day parts and 2-day repairs. That ensures you stay up and running without missing a beat. Thompson Tractor, off I-85 just past Chantilly Parkway. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
Mr. Electric presents the most electrifying story of the day. For service, installation, and upfront pricing, call Mr. Electric at 245-1566. Here with today's high voltage news, it's Greg Budell.
And out of the blue at 321, breaking news on the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping. One of the disturbing ransom notes received by the Guthrie family included a chilling apology for accidentally killing her. According to a new report, a bizarre blackmail letter sent February 6 offered to return the 84-year-old's body in return for money. The memo followed an earlier note to TMZ from the same sender, which correctly described what Guthrie was wearing, so they know this is the individual who would know. Initial messages from the sender said Guthrie was safe but scared and agreed to return her with the family, paid $4 million in Bitcoin by 5 o'clock back on February 5th. They added the money. If the ransom was not paid, this would increase to $6 million or else. The apology note, which came from the same IP address as these initial seemingly credible emails, arrived at the Guthrie family home on February 6th. It said that she had been accidentally killed and offered to deliver her body back to the family for $4 million. That's cold. We can only hope they catch the individual who did this. That story just out within the last few minutes. And if you have any need for electrical installation or repair service, need a new fuse, breaker box, by all means, always choose the best. MrElectric.com. They have the complete list of services. Worked with them for many years as well. And it's a company I choose without hesitation. And you can learn everything you need to know at MrElectric.com. All right, we got David Blackman coming up in a few minutes. We also have, you know what, I'm going to pull the news up here, our local news, and we will get you one more traffic update before David joins us.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. 2 people were killed and 2 others injured in a Saturday evening shooting in Montgomery. The shooting happened around 6:30 at the racetrack gas station on Eastern Boulevard. An adult male was pronounced dead at the scene. A second adult male victim had been shot and killed a short distance away on Carmichael Road. 2 additional victims were taken to area hospitals with gunshot wounds. A homicide investigation is underway after a baby was shot to death in Alexander City. The 4-month-old baby boy died at Russell Medical Center over the weekend. The child's father, 21-year-old Amion May, was arrested and charged with the murder. Details are still limited. A motive for the shooting remains unknown. The town of Pike Road is celebrating America's 250th birthday early this week. Summerfest will take place Thursday at the Pike Road Performing Arts Park on Trotman Road. There'll be food trucks, activities for the kids, music, and much more. Admission is free. Summerfest begins at 6 p.m. Thursday with fireworks just after dark. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, flooring tools, and installation supplies. Find it all at Budget Floors and More in Montgomery. Big selection, contractor pricing, and personal service you won't find at the big boxes. Across from Publix in Del Reyna and online at budgetfloorsmgm.com.
Before you commit to that plumbing repair or upgrade, get a second opinion from Headley Plumbing. Our estimate could save you thousands. We do it all: residential, commercial, and septic tank service, serving the entire river region. No membership, no contract, just fair, reliable service. Call Headley Plumbing at 285-3667 or visit headleyplumbing.com. In our business, a flush beats a full house.
Headley Metal Buildings has been your source for quality metal buildings in the river region since 2007. Carports up to 24 feet wide, RV covers, storage buildings, even a sturdy metal barn up to 54 feet wide. Your structure can be customized, installed on level ground, and comes with a 20-year warranty. Let Headley Metal Buildings help you find the perfect solution. Financing available. Call 285-3667 for details or find Headley Metal Buildings on Facebook.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
We know the businesses that keep our communities moving. We walk the same streets, shop the same stores, and support the same local families. Janney King franchise owners take pride in caring for the places they keep our hometown strong. With dependable service, attention to detail, and commitment to doing the things the right way, more businesses are choosing Janney King as their trusted local cleaning partner. Visit JanneyKingCleans.com today.
Get ready, Central Alabama. The biggest watermelon festival yet is happening Saturday, June 27th at Sweet Creek Farm Market. They're celebrating America's 250th birthday and all things watermelon with free admission, over 100 arts and crafts vendors, a watermelon eating contest, entertainment for the kids, food trucks, and family fun around every corner. It's Sweet Creek Farm Market's biggest arts and crafts festival ever, and admission is free. Saturday, June 27th, 10 to 4 on Highway 231 and Pike Road. Come hungry, bring the family, and celebrate summer at Sweet Creek Farm Market's Watermelon Festival.
Traffic and weather together here in a minute. And the Idiocracy with David Blackman, a presentation, and I might say this, a proud presentation of Montgomery Paint and Body and Donnie Turner, who is an awesome dad. Yesterday morning in New Orleans at just before 10 o'clock, the temperature was 87. The heat index at that time was 102. So it could get worse. It could be a lot worse than what we have this afternoon. Right now, the current information is 92 at the airport with a heat index of 102. But man, as humid as it is here, when New Orleans is humid, it's... And as Rich Thomas told us just a few minutes ago, there's a mesoscale system that will be coming in late tonight. We may see some thunderstorms this afternoon. We will let you know if any of those get severe, but the real severe chance is late tonight after 9 p.m. and likely closer to 10:30 or 11 o'clock with a mesoscale system. Do I sound like I know what I'm talking about?
No.
This guy does. It's Skipper Rich DeFollow.
Well, we have some minor accidents around the Montgomery area. Nothing really affecting traffic flow that we're aware of at the moment. We do have 2 accidents. I-85 northbound just before Shorter. Multiple vehicle accident there. And on 65 northbound at the Fort Deposit exit on the ramp. Got an accident there. Very busy and building traffic around the area. We'll keep you updated. Davis Door & Sash is your trusted source for quality replacement windows and doors. Save 10% on materials when you mention this ad. Visit DavisDoorAndSashAlabama.com or call 334-288-6010. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
And again, a reminder, I hope you'll go to my Facebook page, read the commentary by Dr. David Thrasher posted there, and he will be joining us at 3:30 on Wednesday as we had our own little Juneteenth weekend escapades here in Montgomery, and it's just getting so old and disgusting. I don't want to see any more pictures of our mayor with Gavin Newsom or any other crackpot. Corrupt crackpot, let me correct. We don't need any help with that. Anyway, I don't need to get my blood boiling just yet. There's some good news actually coming, I believe, on oil and gas prices. But first,
the Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. This is Rich Thomas. It's one of those summertime situations where we're going to see showers and thunderstorms well into the nighttime hours. In fact, the main storms for a lot of us could be late tonight. Could be some fireworks by late tonight with showers and thunderstorms, maybe on the strong side. So just be ready. They will fade out by the wee hours of the morning. Overnight low 73. Tomorrow, a routine day. In fact, the next few days will be all the same. Highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s. With some showers and thunderstorms scattered and random in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
The world of idiocracy with Greg and experts, especially David Blackman, talking about all the latest mess. Get it off your chest. The tales of idiocracy.
and we start with this 85-year-old Florida man.
So is there any reason you guys are street racing? Because you're 110 and he's 125.
That guy, he swerved at me, and he shouldn't have done that.
Okay.
I am out just having a little ride in my favorite car.
Oh, that explains everything. He's more than me.
Yeah.
David, I kind of got all that out of my system in my youth. I had 9 Corvettes. This is the God's honest truth. Only one time did I ever take any of those Corvettes up to 100. And on Alligator Alley, which was really like cheating death at the time. And that was it. I'm just not comfortable at that speed. Now today, 85 on I-65 going to New Orleans, I can manage that, no problem, because everybody else is doing it.
So
In
we've
fact-
got a toll road in Texas that goes around, bypasses Austin.
Mhm.
And on about a 30-mile stretch of it, the speed limit is 85. And so I went down there last week. It's why I couldn't be here. I went down there to my old hometown of Beeville last week and was tooling along 90 miles an hour on that highway, 5 miles an hour above the speed limit. I always do that. And I was getting past left and right, man. I mean,
wow,
going 100, 110 on that road. Crazy.
Not that I want to get off on sidebars here, but in fact, I got your second blog today about the soccer fans, and I had just finished my July magazine column trying to figure out how do we go into 250. And so I used the soccer fans. That we're spoiled. We don't know how good we have it here.
Yeah.
And of course, the media loves to spotlight the Les Miserables in America. People just will never be happy. And pointing out some of the differences because boomers have had a chance to celebrate both 200 and 250. And 50 years ago, we were under the knee of OPEC. We had crappily built cars that were allowed by the national speed limit to go 55. And boy, they enforced the hell out of that too.
With a 454 V8 under the hood, and you're going 55. Yeah.
My 72 vet was a 455. And going 55 in that. I mean, you just take your foot off the gas on that thing. Got about 7 miles to the gallon, though, so it was very fuel efficient by those standards. But the joy the soccer fans are, and the media must hate it. They probably are avoiding it because they don't want it.
Yeah.
We can't have all these foreigners coming in here and saying good things about America. This place sucks. I'm so over all of it. So it's a hat tip to the soccer fan. I also pointed out, I wrote it much better than I'm speaking it. 50 years ago, our large cities were decaying and bankrupt, and they still are because we turn to the lowest class of intelligence to get things fixed, and that's politicians, with obvious exceptions. Because really, remember, I think it was in 76, New York did file bankruptcy.
Yeah.
They wanted D.C. to intervene, and Gerald Ford said no. And I think it was the New York Post or the Daily News ran a Ford to New York, F you. They were just so outraged. But it was a dump then, and it's becoming one again.
That was, and it's going to become one again. It's inevitable because you have a communist running it now, and that's what communists do to cities, and they do it intentionally, so it's baked into the cake.
Every time I see that guy, Mondani, on TV, I cringe. When he smiles, I get a twist of nausea in my belly. Yeah. He is Satan incarnate, man. I just, and then I see, and it's usually the same white women that are behind every other stupid thing in America.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Bad. In fact, I have a clip. I might be able to find it and play. It's not long. But it's from an Iranian woman who tells it like it is, relative to what's going on over there and the women. I'll look for it during our next break and play it for you sometime in the 4 o'clock hour because we have David as our prisoner till 5 p.m. this afternoon. And boy, I hope we've been able to clear all the lingering resentment that I and our listeners had because we didn't have you on Thursday, but we somehow, I don't even remember what we did, but we sure killed 3 hours Thursday afternoon. Did you have a nice Father's Day?
I did. It was wonderful. Had kids and grandkids over. It's wonderful to be able to live in the same town with your family. And I know a lot of people don't get to do that. It really is a blessing.
Yeah, I drove down to New Orleans. I was telling the listeners earlier, yesterday at 10 a.m., the temperature was 87, but the heat index was already 102.
Yeah.
It's like that here today, but not that bad.
That New Orleans climate is something, man.
But I was treated to a wonderful homemade breakfast of my favorite things, and I will be wearing a new shirt when you see me on Thursday's show.
Awesome. New shirt from New Orleans.
Yeah, she says when she looks in on the podcast from time to time, said, "What do you have? 4 shirts?" Well, I've especially in this heat, it's there's not too many things I can wear that I can feel comfortable in. So let's start out with what's going on with realities with Iran and what the propaganda media is trying to tell us. And did oil prices drop today?
They're dropping like a rock.
Really?
Exactly. Believe it or not, I know it's amazing, everyone, but they're doing exactly what President Trump and Energy Secretary Chris Wright, the smartest person who's ever held that job, said they were going to do once you open the Strait of Hormuz. Oil prices are dropping like a rock. WTI is sitting at 74, where 2 weeks ago it was pushing 100, 3 weeks ago. And this morning I filled up at a gas station here locally where the price for a gallon of regular was $3.05. This is a Quick Trip Mart. It's not a discount store. Across the street was Sam's Club, which I just don't patronize if I can avoid it.
Yeah, me too.
And it was selling gas for $2.82.
Wow.
And so, things are changing fast. And I think what yesterday demonstrated pretty conclusively is that President Trump is right when he says that the IRGC is no longer in control of the Strait of Hormuz. The United States Navy is. And that was made very clear by the fact that the IRGC said in the morning that they were going to close the Strait of Hormuz. And after they said that, another 30 or 40 ships transited safely through the Strait of Hormuz. The IRGC is now a paper tiger, and the U.S. Navy's in control. And Iran, this morning we saw Scott Bessent, the Secretary of Treasury, announce the removal, at least temporarily, of sanctions on Iranian crude exports. Made an announcement that it's safe for them to load tankers at Karg Island and sail their tankers through the Strait of Hormuz, and the U.S. Navy would not interfere for the 60-day duration of the negotiations on this peace deal. With the knowledge that at a moment's notice, the Treasury Secretary of the United States could reimpose those sanctions and shut down those exports with the U.S. Navy's help. The U.S. Navy hadn't moved. That carrier group is still there. And tankers, we've had tanker traffic through the Strait from Friday through Sunday facilitated essentially the same amount of crude exports through the Strait that we had before the war began. Okay, so that's pretty much normal now and will remain so until the U.S. Navy decides otherwise. And that's the situation regardless of what the media says. The media also claimed yesterday around 3 o'clock in the afternoon that the Iranian delegation was leaving because of the nasty things President Trump said in an interview, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And of course, we found out this morning from JD Vance that they all had a good laugh about that and kept negotiating for another 9 hours. Completely false propaganda,
It just galls me that they just lie, and lie when things don't go their way, which means things are successful. Yeah. When there's progress, when we have clearly made a statement and they seem to understand, yeah, we will do this if you don't cooperate. They're on their side, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
That's how deep the American hatred runs.
Supposed to be on their side anyway. They're supposed to be Americans, but they don't act like it much.
No. I saw that story about JD, and they must wonder over there, as crazy as they are. They know what's happening in our media here, and see all this false reporting, this, trying to establish a different narrative as opposed to what's really happening. I don't know how Trump's keeping the lid on the top of his head, honestly.
I don't either. We've had all these enormous news stories. Last week on Thursday, Tulsi Gabbard releases all this information about Fauci and his crimes against humanity, proving conclusively that he lied before Congress about it all 2 or 3 different times. And the media just remained hyper-focused on the most important story of the day, which is that there's paint flaking off in the reflecting pool in front of the Washington or the Lincoln Memorial, CNN was focused on that reflecting pool story through Saturday. I mean, it's just incredible what they will do to avoid reporting any good news at all.
I thought wasn't somebody arrested for polluting the reflecting pool?
5 people have been arrested so far and 5 more under investigation, including reporter Jonathan Carl, NBC reporter, who was seen, actually videoed, reaching into the pool and peeling off paint off the sides of the pool. And yeah, it's a bad paint job that's going to need to be redone. But is that really national headline news? I mean, it's just in a sane world. No, obviously it's not.
I actually think they have gone off the deep end. But I'm checking something out here. In fact, I might have breaking news. The stunning rise of socialism in the Democratic Party. That's within them, not national. I have no idea.
Well, is that really anything new? Yeah, I've been watching Newsmax and News Nation and Fox all day, and they're all doing that story about the rise of democratic socialism in the Democratic Party. And I'm like, the Democrats have always been socialists.
Yeah.
Okay. The only difference is you've got people who are openly admitting what they think now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the previous Democrats and the ones that we call the establishment, they're all socialists too. They've just been careful about never actually admitting it, because they know if they do admit it and really honestly campaign on those issues in anything but the bluest of blue districts, they're going to get clobbered at the polls. So, I mean, I guess the Democrat socialist moniker is new, so somewhat. Although Bernie Sanders has been doing it for a decade.
Yeah.
But socialism in the Democratic Party, that's the philosophy of the party. It's nothing new in the Democrat Party. It's just that they've got this faction that's actually being honest about it.
Only in the American idiocracy could a former president, and I think you know who I'm talking about. Whoa! I'm the one we've been waiting for. Could unveil a hideous new presidential center that doesn't have one document from his presidency inside that disgusting thing. And by the way, when did the contractors who built it get paid? I understand some of them are going bankrupt. They haven't gotten it done. But they all show up for the big parade and the BM, the big moment, with Barack Obama, his own self, and the usual. In fact, Hillary looked like she had posed for the model of that building with that grotesque. I mean, I'm not much on fashion, but I know ugly when I see it.
It was hard telling her apart from the fire plug in front of the building, wasn't it? Yeah.
I know this is like having a conversation with a moth right now. I need to go back to tap on your expertise. So the 2 critical oil prices, 74 and 78, dropping. What were they before the Iran war, and what might we see in gas prices? I know it's not going to fall immediately, but over time.
Yeah, I'm doing this from memory, so don't misquote me on it. I believe WTI on February 28th was right at $67, and Brent was like 70 or 71. That's from memory, but they were in that range. Okay, so you're getting down now at 74 WTI. You're pretty close to what it was before the war began, and that's a lot of that is just due to unbridled optimism among the traders, thinking this is all going to last and we're out of the water now and everything's going to be fine from now on. And but a lot of it is also due to fundamentals, because we do now have, I think, a pretty fully supplied market at this point. And you know, unless we do have this issue pop up in the next few weeks with inventories being incredibly low that we talked about last week at Cushing, Oklahoma, and the other storage sites around the country, if that doesn't cause major disruptions in the distribution of products around the country, then we're going to be in good shape for gas prices to keep falling and get back, you know, around the $3 mark.
How is the media going to spin that when gas prices? I'm just wondering what negative story they can tell relative to that.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
They're still,
you know, of course they can say, well, you know, they didn't have to go up because Trump didn't have to do the war. And, you know, for what it's worth, that's true. So they'll just keep focusing on that part of it. They only went up because of Trump, and never say anything about the 47 years of death and destruction the Iranian regime has wrought all across the world.
By the way, again, being a moth, while I thought of it, I wanted to compliment you. You can go to davidblackman.substack.com, subscribe, and check out the blog you did on Tellerico. I think it was Saturday.
Living with his or not living with his mother, but having a joint checking account with his mother.
With his mother
at the age of 37. And this man wants to be a United States senator. He can't even manage his own household finances without his mother's help.
Plus, they have the stunt girlfriend, right? And suddenly he realized that it's better to be a meat eater in Texas. So he's now he's in touch with his inner carnivore.
He has stopped posting new photos of him eating meat because they're just so awkward and nobody believes. They're also obviously staged and no one believes them. And yeah, his girlfriend is you know, she's probably not really his girlfriend is what I'm being told.
The word beard comes to mind, sort of like Michelle Obama. I didn't say that.
Could be.
Who said that? Who made a comment like that on this show?
Hey, you know, it's worked for Tom Cruise for all these years, so why not?
Yeah, boy, what I've been reading about him. Hey, breaking news.
Shortwave, take it down, quick. What's it say? Shut up.
From the Idiocracy News Desk. It's amazing. It's stunning. Ilhan Omar, her husband's firm, which once was valued at $30 million, has now dropped to zero. Again, it's all gone. This is the lead story on Fox from a millionaire. Ilhan Omar now claims a potentially negative net worth. So she's back into the poverty thing. The 30 million.
So she, on her federal filings, declared a net worth of $30 million.
Right.
In the fourth quarter of just last year, based on this, I guess it was a mythical Napa Valley winery, right? The value of that her husband supposedly owned. And now we are to believe that it's gone to zero and she didn't do anything wrong in her filings. I guess that's what we are to believe now.
Anybody can misplace $30 million.
Yeah, you know, it's a rounding error, right? For a member of Congress, I guess it's a rounding error.
Stunning. Hey, can we talk about Fauci for a moment? I find it interesting that Tulsi's parting gift to America, and I'm really sad that she's not going to be at DNI. But what will come of this? This is the thing. I know that it's clear that he lied to Congress, among other things.
Crystal clear, yes.
What he did and the damage he did to this country, which is still reverberating 6 years later. There's no doubt about that. And every time I think about what I complied with during COVID, the insanity, the feet taped to the floor of stores and 6 feet. And at the end, that little bastard comes out and says, actually, it's 29 feet is the actual, but that wouldn't work.
We didn't think people would do the 29 feet, so we just said 6. Pulled it out.
It was all made up.
Yeah.
It just for one reason, for mail-in ballots, so they could steal the 2020 election.
That is correct.
And the greatest tragedy in American history will be if nobody pays for that, and especially him. I don't care if he's 84 or not. I don't care if he has to have his diapers put on by a nurse. He's got to go to jail. I mean,
yeah, no, I think we should all demand that he spend his final dying day in prison.
Yes.
And that's the nicest thing we should be willing to do to him. This man is a monster on a par with Joseph Mengele.
Yes.
Everything he did with malice aforethought, clear violation of American law. The statute of limitations has expired on most of it, but not the perjuries, which 2 of which we know of for sure, took place well within the statute. And then he's got this pardon, this supposed auto pen pardon from Joe Biden. And I believe that the Trump Justice Department should make Anthony Fauci's auto pen pardon the test case for whether those pardons, and there were over 1,000 signed with the auto pen, have any validity under the law. And I don't believe they do. And if the Justice Department doesn't even have the courage and integrity to do that, then what's it worth?
Man, and I can't, again, it's almost become a game or a contest. If this does come out, if these smoking guns that Tulsi dropped actually end up bringing this guy back up for a second look, how the media is going to come out in favor of him then, how they're going to protect him. The little man.
It's a real problem for them because they literally deified Anthony Fauci during.
Yes. And to the point
they
where
were all in on the control effort. And how do you then actually report anything accurate about it? Which is why most of the major media have boycotted doing any reporting on it at all.
I mean, it was like if you violated one of the protocols, there were people that were so brainwashed.
Yeah.
They would say, "What, are you trying to murder me?" If you didn't cover your hand fast enough with a sneeze, or you were too close or whatever. There's still people like that.
If you remember, we've been doing this show for 10 years now, or close to it.
Wow.
And we talked about this. I had never heard of Anthony Fauci until that first. Remember, President Trump would have these daily press conferences about COVID starting in March of 2020.
Right.
And Fauci appeared at either the second or third one. And I was watching it with my wife. And I remember us talking about it the next day. As soon as that guy was finished talking, I looked at my wife and said, this guy's a problem, because this guy loves this attention. He craves this attention.
Oh, man.
He's having the time of his life telling us all these draconian things we're going to be forced to do.
Yeah.
This guy's a menace. And that was, shortly after that, I started calling him the little menace to society, because that's what he was. And I've never been more right about any observance in my entire life.
You're right on a lot of things.
From the start.
I found the first thing that I noticed was early on, and this is before the lockdown started, the imprisonment of America. He said, the virus cannot survive in hot climates. So I remember sitting at lunch with Janelle and her mom and stepdad saying, well, that's good. I mean, it's hot here in Florida. You'll be
Right.
okay.
Right.
There were so many changes to the ongoing narrative. Just absolutely disgusting.
And then 2 or 3 days after that, he was telling you not to go outside. You didn't want to go outside, even though we know that sunlight is vital to,
vitamin D.
Right. Exactly. And I mean, it just like you say, every 2 or 3 days, the narrative changed, and it was all an intentional effort to keep us confused and frightened, which
Yeah.
was what the whole thing was about.
Yeah. And I find it very difficult to forgive myself for, we did what we could. People were stuck at home, and we did the Saturday show. You joined us for that many weekends, and we did things to, keep people company and from letting the fear thing get out of control. But, I never got COVID. I've never been diagnosed with it. And what's his name? McCullough, is it?
Dr. McCullough, yeah.
Yeah. Just a week or so ago, he posted on Twitter, there's a post on Twitter of an interview. Somebody asked him, was there any group that was less susceptible to the virus? And he said, yeah, believe it or not, smokers.
Smokers, yeah.
Because early on, there was a story out of France that doctors there found smokers were less susceptible to the virus. But it didn't get a whole lot of attention in the media. But
No,
I
of
believe
course,
it.
because they were violating the narrative. Those are the same doctors that were the first ones to be curing everybody with ivermectin.
Yeah.
Which, of course, we had to be demonized because Big Pharma wanted to make billions of dollars on all these new medications that
Yeah.
didn't do any damn good for you.
You can get ivermectin. It's probably easier to get methamphetamine than it is ivermectin, but it still works.
And it's cheaper than Bayer aspirin.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't tell anybody.
Drug in the drugstore.
Don't tell anybody, but I have some at home. We will continue our tour of the never-ending American Idiocracy. Oh boy, this is often the case. We got a little bit overtime here, but that breaking news on Ilhan Omar's poverty had to come to the forefront.
Oh my God!
And I'm gonna find that clip from the Iranian woman because I think you'll love it.
Yeah.
All of that coming up. In the meantime, look up David Blackman, davidblackman.substack.com, and subscribe and enjoy the joy. How's that for a slogan? Does that? We'll be
Sounds
back
good.
with David in just a moment, everybody. It is 4:00. What's the latest temperature? We have, you'll get Rich's forecast in a moment, but he is expecting some storms this afternoon, but severe weather possible later tonight. Oh, it's cooling off. It's down to 91 with the heat index of 101. If you have any doubts about the condition of your heating and air conditioning, don't forget our brand new sponsor, Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning. The Clark Family Genius continues, 334-245-3644. I will have that number memorized soon enough. Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning. He is absolutely sensational. He'll take care of you during the worst of the heat. Here's Skipper with the latest on the road.
Well, we have a new accident, I-65 northbound coming into Montgomery right near the Coca-Cola plant. We have vehicles off on the right and left side of the road. Both lanes of 65 northbound are open, but it is moving really slow through that accident and traffic really backing up. Light to moderate building traffic in Montgomery, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka. We will keep you updated. If you have less than perfect credit, McKenna Nissan may have the plan for you. Talk to David Martin. He'll do everything possible to have you driving today. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with the Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At E-Bike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. E-Bike Oasis offers free 1-hour electric bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by E-Bike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. 5 reasons to get a home inspection before you close on a home. Homeowners buying their first home or their 10th home still need a home inspection performed. First, you will find out firsthand the true condition of the home, the age and state of the heating and air, the roof, electrical, and plumbing as of the date of inspection. Second, it may give you the ability to renegotiate repairs that the seller will end up paying for before closing. Third, if the results show that the repairs would be too costly, then you can opt out of the contract without losing your earnest money. Fourth, the age and state of the systems will indicate what shape the rest of the house might be in and give you the option to opt out of the transaction or renegotiate terms. Fifth, knowing what needs to be done to the house will allow you the opportunity to update the home properly to your taste. For a list of the best home inspectors in the area, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 334-221-2883 or 551-0225. The Goodson Group.
Today's show is brought to you by Monday. If you had a time machine, you wouldn't be here right now.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
Back with David Blackman and Hugh right now.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Former Fed Chairman Alan Greenspan has died. He was celebrated for engineering a decade of prosperity, later shared the blame for a devastating financial crisis. He died today at the age of 100. Vice President J.D. Vance said that peace talks with Iran have created a good foundation for a successful final deal to end the war. Before leaving Geneva today, Vance said that there are still many angles that need to be settled before peace talks can be considered to be complete. A federal judge has blocked an attempt by the Trump administration to subpoena Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and other state officials, calling it an effort to harass and retaliate against them. The district judge said the dominant purpose of the subpoenas was to coerce Minnesota officials into assisting in federal immigration enforcement. At the close on Wall Street, the Dow was up 148 points. This is SRN News.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-926-5959. That's 800-926-5959. 800-926-5959.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, "Get help." A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror. And that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week, We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Pizza Perfect's amazing buffet just got more amazing. To help our customers during these tough economic times, in June, Pizza Perfect has reduced the price of our buffet to just $10. That's pizza, as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink. Everything, only $10. Pizza Perfect Buffet. Available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pickup or delivery. Also in June, get $5 off any large pizza at Pizza Perfect in Eastbrook, where the buffet is only $10 all month long.
When it comes to your mortgage, who you work with matters. And this is one decision where local makes all the difference. Don't fall victim to flashy mailers, spam calls, or 1-800 lenders who don't even know your name, much less your neighborhood. Those lenders are often sitting in some faraway state, reading from a script and chasing volume, not relationships. A local lender understands the market you live in, or should I say that we live in. At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can look at us in the eye and trust us with one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Local lenders don't disappear after closing day. Our reputation is built right here, one family at a time. So before you pick up the phone and call a stranger, remember us, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon at Alabama Home Mortgage. You deserve guidance from someone who knows the community because they're a part of it. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey Biscuits fans, the 2026 season at Davos Park is packed with fun all summer long. Don't miss exciting giveaways, theme nights, and spectacular Max fireworks shows throughout the year. Enjoy weekly favorites like tacos and tall boys on Tuesdays, 334 nights on Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, and family-friendly Sundays with Bark in the Park and Low Crumbs giveaways. Plus, special events, community nights, and more make every game unique. For tickets and more information, visit biscuitsbaseball.com or call the box office at 323-BALL.
Amazon CEO greets David Blackman when we return after traffic and weather together.
Traffic is brought to you by Baumhauer's. Start 2025 off with legendary buffalo wings from Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Baumhauer's has great food, service, and fun. See you at Baumhauer's Victory Grill.
409.
Well, we have a new accident, I-65 northbound coming into Montgomery right near the Coca-Cola plant. We have vehicles off on the right and left side of the road. Both lanes of 65 northbound are open, but it is moving really slow through that accident and traffic really backing up. Light to moderate building traffic in Montgomery, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka. We will keep you updated. If you have less than perfect credit, McKenna Nissan may have the plan for you. Talk to David Martin. He'll do everything possible to have you driving today. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with the Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Well, hi, everybody. This is Rich Thomas. It's one of those summertime situations where we're going to see showers and thunderstorms well into the nighttime hours. In fact, the main storms for a lot of us could be late tonight. Could be some fireworks by late tonight with showers and thunderstorms, maybe on the strong side. So just be ready. They will fade out by the wee hours of the morning. Overnight low 73. Tomorrow, a routine day. In fact, the next few days will be all the same. Highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s with some showers and thunderstorms scattered and random in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Big dreams for your home on a tight budget? AFE's $26.26 as you covered. Unlock your home's equity with just $26 in closing costs. No fees, no headaches. Visit your local ASE branch today. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 420259.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any
I'm Jeff Bezos. Forgive me, but I've been a little down in the dumps lately after learning my archenemy Elon Musk went from a billionaire to a trillionaire. But then it dawned on me how I can turn my B into a T. Amazon Prime Day starts tomorrow. So instead of lowering prices, for the next 2 days, everything on Amazon will cost 10 times as much. I'm a genius. So let's get clicking, Amazoners. Don't think of it as me ripping you off blind to soothe my ego. Think of it as a bettering society. I don't know about you, but I don't want to live in a world where one person has that much money, but two people. Oh, I could live with that. Just the two of us.
Always got something to say. 413, David Blackman, welcome back. I pulled up that clip I wanted you to hear. I hope I went to all this trouble to re-cue it, and it's as good as I remember it being. Sometimes that doesn't always work out, but it's not that long. And the key to this is from an Iranian woman.
This is what happens when people refuse to let the media get away with their life.
CNN's Clarissa Ward says she is ashamed as an American that the Trump administration is posting these flashy videos celebrating successful military strikes. Are you ashamed, Sheila?
Hey, Clarissa, I'm Iranian here, and on behalf of 90% of Iranians in Iran and 99% of the diaspora, pardon my language, but shut the F up and sit down, and all the other liberal white women like you can do the same.
I love it. Oh, I absolutely love that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oops, I got the echo again.
That's because I had to put the button down so you could hear it. We have not worked this out. We're going to have to get Elon in here himself to figure out how we can play things for you without giving you the echo. But
he's got plenty of spare time. I'm sure he'll do it.
Oh, without a doubt. And of course, the usual leftist harping, because he is and nobody should have that much money. And
what I think Elon ought to do? I think he ought to, he's a trillionaire. He ought to just buy an aircraft carrier for his personal yacht and sail it up into New York Harbor for AOC and Bernie Sanders to get a close look at. Okay, just for that. And nothing else, just to do that. $1 trillion is pretty ridiculous. Of course, it's not in cash. It's mainly in stock in his two major companies that his brain is responsible for building. His brain, it's his endeavor. It's his efforts. It's his labor. It's his brilliance as an individual. Does anyone deserve $1 trillion? No. But do I envy him for that? No. Because he's the one who, people say, oh, well, he took government loans and that's the only reason he's done all this. Look, Elon Musk, every entrepreneur in America had the opportunity to do exactly what Elon Musk did 25 years ago when he started Tesla. Elon Musk was the one person who looked at the set of incentives the federal government had laid out before everybody in this country and took some federal loans to start up this electric vehicle company, paid off those loans very quickly, well before they were due, and has built not only that company, but the most powerful aerospace company ever seen on the face of the earth. Done it all without the federal government's loans and money. And so even that part of his story is untrue. This nonsense about the federal government help was the reason why he's done this. It helped him get started, and everybody else, like even Jeff Bezos, could have done the same thing.
Sure.
Nobody else was smart enough to do it the way he did it. And I'm not a fan of electric vehicles. But, you just can't deny what he's built. And nobody else has done it. Elizabeth Warren's never created a job in her life. Bernie Sanders never created a job in his life. AOC is not capable of creating a job.
Elizabeth Warren doesn't have time. She's busy putting airlines out of business.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
Spirit.
I mean, he's destroyed job. Well, and AOC queered the deal where Amazon was going to move 39,000 jobs into her congressional district. She killed that deal.
That anybody could embrace this asshattery is beyond my comprehension.
It's just, well, because there's a lot of stupid people in America, a ton of stupid, ignorant people for these demonic individuals to exploit.
I would share with you some of the joy of our Juneteenth weekend here in Montgomery. The gas station right up the street had witnesses said 50 to 70 rounds fired, 2 dead, 2 injured. A naked woman climbing out of a car. People that were on. It's one of the busiest streets in the city, Eastern Boulevard. People. Dads, the families going out to dinner at 6:30 on a Saturday night. This wasn't after midnight in some godforsaken location, right in the hub of the city, having their families duck in the car because they heard the gunfire. And then it happened again later in the night. And of course, Chicago had a huge drive-by tragedy up there. Just, they just, this is one thing that I have yet to see change in my lifetime. And in Chicago specifically, when I read about that one, that place has been a problem spot for years. It's never going to change, not with the leadership they have now.
I mean,
and I
that
still
was the
can't
least
believe
surprising news of the week, the whole weekend, that they had.
And I still can't believe that lunatic mayor in Chicago and fat bastard governor
Get in my belly!
managed to, they had $2.5 billion to take care of all the needs of non-citizens, but nothing to get an infrastructure together so the Bears could stay in Chicago.
Well, nothing to help the people on the south side of Chicago not get shot on the weekends either.
Yeah, they know where all this is going to go on, but
it's a few neighborhoods in that city where all of this carnage takes place.
Yeah,
and the leadership does nothing, absolutely nothing to stop it.
Did Kamala Harris really tell Don Lemon that hope should be a verb?
Yes.
Oh my God, I didn't hear this one.
Shoot, I wish I had a clip of that. It's the most classic Kamala Harris. I mean, even Don Lemon was sitting there kind of shielding his eyes from it, just trying to make it stop,
Wow.
And
Hey,
she's far and away the leader in the polls for the Democrats.
You're
It's
kidding.
incredible.
And Gavin
by
Newsom
far.
is already, aren't they about to indict his wife for theft?
Yeah. He may get indicted too. I mean, he's the one that's been funneling all the money to her NGOs. The $3.7 million she's funneled to herself in 10 years.
They almost seem proud of it. Unbelievable.
He's the Hillary Clinton of this election cycle. Hillary in 2016, my theory about her was that she was the new Coke, and the more people were exposed to her, the less they'd like her, and that turned out to be right. And he's the same way. The more people see of Gavin Newsom, the more they hate him.
He's the head of a snake. He is the sleaziest man in existence with the greasy hair and he's like the cool, obnoxious kid in high school that everybody hated.
Yeah, exactly.
I also just saw a headline. I don't know for what it's worth. Bank of America expects 3 Fed rate hikes. That's not what.
They're talking about that too because inflation. What was it in this last report? 4.2. And so that's how the Fed typically responds to slow inflation, to try to slow down rising inflation. I think they're going to wait to see what the next report at the end of this month shows. And if it looks like inflation is continuing to rise. It's interesting to me, though. I think a lot of that was driven by the rise in gasoline prices. Starting on March 1st. And gas prices over the past 3 weeks have plummeted. I mean, down over $1 in a month. And, in Texas anyway. And so I just wonder how much impact that's going to have. A lot of the inflation was driven by gas prices. And so if they'll just wait a month or two, I think they're going to see they don't really have any need to raise interest rates.
So did Donald Trump actually say Keir Starmer is leaving before he actually announced it? I kind of find that funny, actually.
I find it hilarious. Keir Starmer is a snake. You talk about a snake. He's a Marxist thug from the Khrushchev school of Marxism. He's a horrible human being, and I don't wish anything but pain and misery to him for the rest of his life, frankly.
Yes.
He and his party have destroyed the UK, basically. And I think the UK is probably at a point of no return. And it will be a Muslim country within the next 10 years. So I pox on his house.
Sorry, I shared that clip by request of the Iranian woman, and I had to I got to close this out. I had to cut off the mic.
Oh.
Oh, there's Dan Bongino. We don't want it. Thank you, Dan. And we don't need you. And I think we're cool now. God, you touch one button in this place, and it's like a dam breaking, and audio starts coming out of every orifice. I don't think that's what they're calling. How does a guy like Starmer get into power? What are the people in England thinking? I mean,
Well,
what did you say we're in jail for?
12,000. They've arrested 12,000 people and thrown them in
12,000
jail
people.
for making mean posts on social media. I mean, they had this instance, what was it, a few weeks ago, where a guy gets assaulted, stabbed on the streets and allowed to bleed out. And then a couple of days later, a woman is assaulted by a Muslim and she gets thrown in jail for saying mean things about her assaulter. And it's become a nightmare society. It's a nightmare society because these Marxists are trying to replace the population, just like the Democrats tried to do during the Biden years, with imported voters who they know will be loyal Labor Party voters. And unfortunately, the reason Starmer got elected is because the Tories made such a mess of things because they adopted the whole energy transition net zero nonsense. And so the Tories aren't, it's really kind of a uniparty situation over there. The Reform Party is the only hope the continent has, or the island has. And, I frankly just don't think I don't think the native Brits fully understand the predicament they in, enough of them to save the country at this point. I just think they're lost. And it makes me very sad because all of my ancestors came from those islands.
Interesting, though. While they're taking that turn over there, we're watching South America. I looked at a red and blue comp map. South America is almost completely red now.
Well, Brazil's, if the Brazilian election goes the right way, it will almost be, yeah. That map is interesting because it shows Guyana and Suriname as leftist countries. And nominally, I think that's true. But when you look at how the current presidents have governed those countries, thanks largely to all the oil money coming into those countries from offshore development, they really have not governed as far left wingers. They've governed as middle of the road governments. So they're not really left-wing governments. Brazil's the big prize, because the CIA went down there and stole that election in 2022 for the communists, just like they stole the 2020 election here.
Yeah.
And using the U.S. aid budget as the seed money. I mean, the U.S. aid budget was basically the CIA's foreign policy budget to interfere in all these elections. And since the U.S. aid budget has been demolished, thanks to Elon Musk, again, their name rises, 7 consecutive elections have gone to conservative candidates. It's amazing what happens when the CIA no longer has the wherewithal to go steal elections in other countries. Suddenly suddenly the communists go out of power. How about that?
Amazing, ain't it? Let me run my personal conspiracy theory by you. We have all of these situations from Fauci. This was inspired by something I saw in Tim Waltz, who actually was dissing Barack Obama's negotiation with Iran when he was president. He said Obama gave up leverage and yada, yada.
Yeah.
Sort of a left-handed way to say Trump has done a better job on that. Do you think he's trying to buy his way out of trouble? I have this theory that Waltz and the Newsoms and all these other thieves, that they're holding back on going after them until we get a little bit closer to the midterms.
I don't know. They may be. You talking about the DOJ?
Yeah,
holding back. Yeah, that
you know, the old October surprise playbook.
Yeah, well, and that would be good. I kind of hope they are. You know, I thought about that a few weeks ago. Didn't write about it, but yeah, the same thing is kind of occurring to me because they're going after. They're putting a lot of people in jail for these fraud crimes. A lot of people, hundreds already, and a lot more being indicted all the time. So, but they're all people you've never heard of, and so they don't make news. And I just, there's no way that Governor Waltz and Attorney General Ellison in Minnesota did not know about the Somali fraud operation. There's no way it would have been possible for them not to know.
Didn't Ellison just get in a big huff in a hearing and walk out?
Yeah, he was doing a radio interview over the weekend. And the interviewer started asking him questions about all the fraud operations, and he just got mad and walked out. Because he doesn't have any good answers. He doesn't have any good answers for any of that. And the same thing's true in California. It's, this Becerra guy who the Democrats now have, qualified for the fall election against Steve Hilton. He was the attorney general in California when all the fraud operations were getting set up in Gavin Newsom's first term. And then when Biden was installed, they forced Biden to make him the Health and Human Services Secretary so that he could oversee and make sure there were no federal investigations into any of that from his perch in Washington, D.C., because most of the fraud operations in California are related to Medicaid, hospice services, and, medical related stuff. So the Health and Human Services Secretary has purview over the federal programs that were being defrauded. And now they want to install him as governor so that he can, keep the fraud operations going, because those fraud operations are benefiting thousands and thousands of connected Democrats in California. It's the life's blood of the Democratic Party in California now. So I just hope and pray, that DOJ is building a case against Becerra, because there's no way he didn't know about all that when he was there. Just no way.
That's why I say October surprises, multiple, or maybe even a little bit early. They're probably going to prioritize and see.
Yeah.
Because this could actually create a complete collapse. We're going to take our next break. When we come back, we're going to find out how the Democrats' favorite Nazi is doing in Maine. Ken Paxton, does he have a chance to defeat the meat eater Tallarico in Texas? And why is Joe Biden fighting desperately to keep audio recordings of himself, since he was fit as a fiddle during his presence out of the public eye? All of that coming up with David Blackman. Visit David on Substack at davidblackman, one word, .substack.com, and we'll be back in about a little while here.
All righty.
I'm going to do my best to make time fly. All right. And we sure do appreciate him. He is amazing. When you have a family crisis, it could be a divorce, somebody from the past trying to change an existing agreement. These are the things. They're so close. They can get the best of you. They can cause you to think more emotionally than rationally. What I learned in life and through my own mistakes is you got to learn when to turn it over. By that meaning, give the problem, the situation, whatever you care to characterize it, to people who are best equipped to handle it for you, so you don't have to get involved in making the situation worse. Dana Delk and Jacqueline Tomlinson, I've known them for years. They're amazing women. Their legal expertise is beyond question. Their experience is, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of cases in family law. But when you bring anything to them, it could be just questions about planning your estate, or maybe you've got some fresh paperwork in your lap, like I got once. Did not handle it well. It's the look. It's the, okay, they digest whatever the circumstances are and come back with a plan. Okay, this is where you are today. This is where you want to be. Here's how we're going to get there. It's leadership, and it's with a kind of confidence that makes it easy for you to trust. They know what they're doing. 819-4810 in the 334. Now you can visit the website, see some of the reviews and so forth. It also lists all of the legal options you have with them, from, I mentioned wills, but blended families, adoptions, if you're running into headway, you want fighters on your team in a situation like that. Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law, 819-4810. Visit the website at this address, thealabamafamilylawyers.com.
Representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
It is 4:33.
Traffic is brought to you by Victoryland. The winning is 24/7 at Victoryland. Go where the winners go every day, and you can be a winner too. Victoryland, I-85, exit 22 shorter, admission 19 and over.
1819 News follows Skipper with your update.
Well, traffic in the Montgomery area, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, light to moderate, not really hearing of any issues. However, we have two accidents that are about to clear, we hope. I-85 northbound just before Shorter, multiple vehicle accident. There was one lane traffic a few minutes ago and a big backup there. And 65 northbound into Montgomery, right near the Coca-Cola plant as you're coming into town. Vehicles off on the right and left there. Folks moving through that accident, but slowing down, causing a big backup. Keep it here. We'll keep you updated. Come by Thompson Tractor in Montgomery and check out their used equipment sales center. See the machines that get the big jobs done. Thompson Tractor off I-85 just past Chantilly Parkway. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
News is brought to you by Adams Motorsports of Montgomery, where your pleasure is their business.
1819 News.
Governor Ivey has made appointments to the Alabama STEM Council. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. The state STEM Council's mission is to assist in STEM education and opportunities for students throughout various regions here in the state. The governor has appointed 7 people who will represent the 7 regions that the state has been divided into. The council will work within the Alabama Department of Workforce in an effort to bring more STEM learning and job opportunities to students here in Alabama. The Secretary of the Department of Workforce, Greg Reed, tells WDHN News that each of these leaders bring a unique perspective as well as skill to the council when it comes to education, business, and industry in the STEM area. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
Manslaughter charges have been issued against a Marshall County man after an Albertville teen was killed in a motorcycle crash. Dakota Hammond was driving the motorcycle when it left the roadway and was hit by another car. This killed the passenger on the motorcycle, who's been identified as 17-year-old Alexa Walker. Baptist Medical Center South in Montgomery has just been certified as a Level 1 trauma center. This will be the first of its kind in central Alabama. The hospital is one of 4 in the state of Alabama that now have this Level 1 verification. It indicates that the hospital is able to treat the most critical of injuries and trauma. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
AdamsMotorsports.com on the web, or Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard in Montgomery. That's at Adams Motorsports in Montgomery, where your pleasure is our business. Come by and learn more about the new Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle and see for yourself the bar has officially been reset.
Thank you, much beloved and glorious. Just wanted to jump on for a minute. Some of the thunderstorms have actually materialized. We have one right here at the radio station and they're pop-up types, but later on you'll hear it with Rich. There's an airport weather warning as well. Still feels like 100 outside. Be on the lookout for late evening a meso system that's going to come through, and we could have the potential for severe weather with that. Also wanted to mention we're welcoming a brand new sponsor. The Clark Dynasty in the heating and air conditioning business continues with Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning, an amazing guy. If you can't go wrong here, okay? When you meet him, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the expertise, 20 years of experience, knowledgeable, and passionate about doing things right. 334-245-3644. We'll tell you more about him. Service agreement starting at $149 for a year. Please consider it. Robbie's just awesome. You'll love him. All right, we will be back with David Blackman in just a few minutes.
If you're tired of average meals and rush dining, come see us. Epicure and Jack's Tavern offers wet-aged steaks cut in-house, scratch-made lunches, unbeatable beer buckets, and unforgettable dinners. This is food made with pride and served with heart. We invite you to come visit soon at 2060 Downing Street in Millbrook. Epicure and Jack's Tavern. You'll taste the difference.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. This is Rich Thomas. It's one of those summertime situations where we're going to see showers and thunderstorms well into the nighttime hours. In fact, the main storms for a lot of us could be late tonight. Could be some fireworks by late tonight with showers and thunderstorms, maybe on the strong side. So just be ready. They will fade out by the wee hours of the morning. Overnight low 73. Tomorrow, a routine day. In fact, the next few days will be all the same. Highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s with some showers and thunderstorms scattered and random in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The world of idiocracy with Greg. Expert, especially David Blackman, talking about all the latest mess. Get it off your chest and tune to the best. Idiocracy. Of idiocracy. The tales of idiocracy. The tales of idiocracy.
And as long as we have Democrats, we will have an idiocracy.
Isn't that the truth?
You mentioned earlier, we've been working together for about 10 years, which is unbelievable to me.
Yeah, it is.
And it's been great. But it went back to some of the things that were happening. And I found your blog, and you can find David at davidblackman.substack.com through a website that used to be called Michelle Obama's Mirror. Somebody recommended it. Either she did, Kathy Constitutionalist Smith was the author of that blog. It was very, very funny, especially when Obama was president. So I found it and started following you, subscribed. And then finally one day I got to try and get this man on the radio with me. And that's how it all started. We were joking last week, sort of, about Maine adding a swastika to their state flag since they just can't seem to find anything wrong and have made every excuse in the book for Nazi Graham Plattner, who could be their next senator. But how is Susan Collins doing against this bizarre opponent she's got to face?
Well, she's doing what Susan Collins does and just plugging away. And she's already basically, slightly ahead of him in the latest poll, but, in 1 percentage point, it's within the margin of error. But the betting odds are now turning, right? Because people can see what's happening in the election, and the betting odds are now turning in her favor. I keep telling people that Susan Collins, and every one of her, she's a 5-term senator. So this will be her 5th reelection run.
Wow.
And in every one of the previous 4, she's always been behind in the polls on election day, going into the election. And she always outperforms the polls by 8 to 10% at least. So there's a lot of people in Maine who are Susan Collins voters that don't want to admit it to the pollsters for some reason. And I can't figure that out. Probably Democrats who don't want to admit they're voting for a Republican. And I think that phenomenon is going to be even more pronounced this time because, as depraved as most Democrat voters are, there's still plenty of Democrats who are, semi-normal people who are utterly repulsed by the notion that their party's nominee for the U.S. Senate is a guy who knowingly and intentionally wore a nasty tattoo on his chest and for 18 years and only decided to cover it up because he was running for the Senate. I mean, that's the truth, and everyone knows it now. And he's also a guy who's got a history of at least being accused of being abusive to women. And he's got all manner of personality issues. And like James Dallarico in Texas, he's a trust fund baby who is completely dependent on his mother. He claims to be this oyster fisherman, right? He claims to have this oyster fisherman business. The only significant customer of his business, which, by the way, he started with a huge loan from his mother, really, again, he'll never pay back. Well, his mother was the only customer.
Well, that's a nice arrangement. Jeez.
So this is just another guy. I mean, he certainly served the country in the military for years, and everyone should be grateful to him for that service. That doesn't mean you have any obligation whatsoever to vote for this man to be in the U.S. Senate. He is a completely unstable human being who will ultimately humiliate the state of Maine if they elect him.
Yes.
And I think Susan Collins is just going to do what she does and beat him by about 4%, 5% in the general election, and maybe even more than that, because he is such a repugnant human being.
You would hope, yes, that there would be a wide margin of victory for her.
You would hope, yes.
I can't believe I'm looking at the New York Times celebration of Trans Father's Day.
What?
Yeah,
that's a thing? I didn't even know that.
There's a kid walking with his dad, asking dad, "How long did you have breasts?" What are they thinking here? When
trying to normalize, I mean, just like they've done with pedophilia, the New York Times has led the media charge to normalize pedophilia in our country for 15 years now. So, they'll depravity is their life's blood at the New York Times. And so that doesn't surprise. I didn't even know there was such a thing actually as Trans Father Day. It's an interesting concept.
I'm sorry. There are just things that are normal and things that are not. That is abnormal. And look at all the shooters and Trump assassins who have had connections to this. I haven't seen too many positive things about it, to be quite frank. And yet the New York Times picks the, interesting thing. I watched a documentary on, I'm fascinated with airlines and planes, aircraft. I watched a documentary on the problems that Boeing had with the 737 MAX, because they had a couple of accidents before and the people that were doing the investigation were, I was kind of half watching, half listening, were very obnoxious in presenting their case that the company was negligent in not addressing what they knew was the problem. And then I realized when I looked at the screen why I found them so annoying. They were all reporters for the New York Times.
Oh, well.
And it's not just that. It's the way they went about it with that holier than thou, sanctimonious lecture type of presentation of information. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Had a tough time watching that. But that's the New York Times, and now they're you can't grow a beard, you're a girl. My dad did, and he was a girl. Oh, God. Somebody throw a blanket over my head so I can't see anything. I'm going to shut the TVs off.
What, you're watching this thing with
yeah, they were showing the actual cartoons. Yeah.
Oh, the cartoons. Oh.
Yeah. So what's going on with Joe was at the Obama monstrosity grand opening or whatever it was. And immediately he gets on stage and he wants to know where his granddaughter is.
Yeah. Well, he's completely lost. I mean, Jill didn't even wait for him when they were done. They had that deal and they're all sitting up there, and she just gets up and walks off and leaves him straggling behind. And he's kind of, shuffling off, and then he looks out and sees there's people out there in the audience, as if for the first time, right? And he's waving at people and talking to himself, and and then finally somebody from off stage apparently hollered at him, and he shuffled on off. But he doesn't know where he is. I mean, there's George Bush.
Oh,
hanging out with the Clintons and the Obamas and the Bidens.
Yeah,
who are his best friends because he shares their general worldview, right?
Yeah.
So it was this perfect capsule of 34 years of American destruction.
Yes.
Right there on that one stage, those four families.
Yeah,
it's hard to separate the Bushes from the others.
Out of that whole group, I think the most conservative one in that group was Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I think so. Really and truly.
Just like I don't think FDR would have been as liberal as he was without Eleanor pushing him from the sidelines, because he got engaged in things I don't think he was truly down with, but he had to. If he wasn't sending her halfway around the world on some kind of a mission, she was in the house. And I think there's a great story one time about how she came in at absolutely the wrong moment to ask him about some social justice cause that she wanted to bring to his attention, and he just swept the desk clean. FDR. And
well, FDR, as I like to say, was a closet communist, but Eleanor wasn't even in the closet.
No, she was out there with it. So what's in these audio recordings that Biden is legally fighting to keep these out of the public, right?
They're from 2016 and 24. You remember I told the story several times that the first time I became aware Biden had dementia was in 2014. It was an open secret in Washington, D.C. while he was vice president. Everyone knew it. Well, these are interviews he conducted with a biographer in 2016 and 2017 that reveal, according to the writer, that he had, very frequently lost his train of thought, had trouble speaking, often had to restart sentences because he got stuck in the middle. All the sad symptoms of a person with dementia.
Yes.
And it's been building by then for several years already. And the Justice Department somehow is in possession of them. I don't know if it was through a grand jury proceeding or what, but the Judiciary Committee in the House has subpoenaed those recordings because they're investigating whether or not anything that happened in the Obama presidency should be considered to have the force of law, because the president himself wasn't running the country and wasn't running the White House. And so they want to get those recordings so that they can listen to them and see if they support the case that Biden was non-compos mentis as early as 2016, which they all know is the case. I mean, if you've been in Congress for a week, you know that Joe Biden had dementia as early as 2014, probably earlier than that. So they want to get it, and it's a lawful records request, a subpoena from Congress to the Justice Department, and he's taken the case to a federal judge. You know, he thinks is either the judge is either an Obama or Biden appointee who will, you know, issue an injunction against DOJ supplying those recordings. But I mean, I think it gets to the appeals court. It's just a simple matter of law that DOJ has to respond to the subpoena. And it'd be interesting to see what happens once it gets in the hands of the Judiciary Committee. I would love to have those made public.
Think about that, though. They knew about this in 2014, yet 6 years later, and that is not a disease that goes backwards, they still put him on the ticket to run for president.
Yeah, because they just wanted a sock puppet that they could control, and who better than Joe Biden to fill that role?
It's absolutely incredible. Oh, by the way, we have another bulletin from the Idiocracy News Desk.
Shortwave, take it down, quick. What's it say? Shut up.
Tucker Carlson has announced he's dumping the Republican Party.
Boy, there's
but
a
then he
shocker,
said,
right?
I'm not going with the Democrats. I don't know what I'm going to do. Tucker, the reason you were popular is that you always seemed like you knew what you were doing, and that you had organized conservative and pragmatic thoughts to present to millions of people every night on Fox News that pay you handsomely. And now you're a crazy douchebag. I'm sorry.
Well, and it was all an act. I mean, people forget Tucker Carlson was a Democrat until he was like 50 years old. And people forget that Tucker Carlson worked for years on both MSNBC and CNN before he ever showed up on Fox News, and was totally down with the program at MSNBC and CNN. So his conservatism was always an act, and this is just him. You know, he's getting paid to do this. Obviously, he's getting paid millions of dollars to do what he's doing, and anyone who's still falling for it, I feel sorry for you.
Hey, I saw the story about the Tesla. It was on autopilot, and it slammed into a Houston, Texas home.
Yeah. Tragic. Killed a grandmother sleeping in her bed.
No, that's terrible. I didn't know that Teslas could do that, though, or were capable.
Yeah, they've got full self-driving technology in them now, and this one, for whatever reason, went out of control, hit the gas pedal, and slammed right into the bedroom of this house in a Houston suburb and killed.
You know, I'm wondering because our broadcast twice a week is sponsored by Montgomery Paint and Body, and the man that owns it, Donnie Turner, is brilliant. And he says that things that cars can navigate off on, like radar and stuff, can get dirt somehow just stuck in the exact right spot that can totally disable it. And I'm wondering if it's something that simple that could have prevented the car. That man, and no doubt there's going to be a giant lawsuit.
The car we have has a kind of a highway. If you're on a freeway, it has a self-driving guidance feature, assist. What's it called? Auto assist or something like that.
Yes,
autopilot assist. And and you know, I've been using it on these long road trips, and you know, it's really good. As long as I'm sitting there watching,
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
make myself do it, and it's kind of relaxing and it gives you a little bit of a rest. But I don't think I'm just ever going to be able to just get in a car and trust it.
No, I'm not giving up the control.
Yeah.
It's funny. I do have the auto assist so that if the car should somehow drift into the next lane, you start hearing that thumping sound from the road stools, the little mushrooms. I don't want to tell you how often that thing goes off. I'm a very good driver, but I could not just sit in the driver's seat. Okay, take me here. Take me to the radio station. No, I don't think I'm ever going to be there, and I'm never going to have the money to afford that car anyway. We got a couple of minutes.
Too far. Yeah.
How about some baseball? Any news in major leagues today? Trying to see if the Dodgers.
Oh, I hadn't looked. I don't know. All I know is the Yankees are on a tear, buddy. They are killing it.
They ran into the mediocre Cincinnati Reds at Yankee Stadium, and the Reds took 2 out of 3. So I'm angry about that. Just a little bitter, as you might be able to tell.
Well, the Dodgers got slaughtered 12-1 yesterday. I was going to have a nice Father's Day watching the Dodgers, and by the third inning,
to the Orioles, to the Baltimore freaking Orioles,
Baltimore Orioles,
the dynasty. You know what? I hate to say this. I was listening to that game in the car on the way back from New Orleans, the Dodger-Oriole game, and I was angry about the Yankees losing to the Reds. I said, well, you know what? If it's just one of those days, if Baltimore can do this to the Dodgers, then the Yankees are going to lose one to the Reds that they shouldn't. So I want to thank the Los Angeles Dodgers for making me feel better about my team. And let's hear it for the World Cup. This is such an unexpected and wonderful benefit to have all these people coming to America to root for their team and discovering, man, this is a great place to be. And I hope everybody is embracing that. There's just, we got a growing population.
It's been an endless source of entertainment watching those videos. It's just hilarious. Yeah.
I love them. I absolutely love them. David, thank you as always for your time. And we will see you Thursday.
All right. See you then.
Awesome. Okay. DavidBlackman.substack.com so you can subscribe to his blog. He often puts out 2 or 3 on some days when there's a lot of breaking news. But the thing you should be reading for is follow up. He's an oil and gas industry expert. That's where he's made his career, frequently on, networks and talk shows and things like that as a guest expert. And oil prices have dropped rapidly now, and we could be seeing, barring some unforeseen thing, and with Iran, you never know, but we should start seeing gas under $3 a gallon pretty soon. It's 5 o'clock. Some thunderstorms in the area. Rich's forecast coming up. Skipper will have an update on the roads for guys who are wilting in this. What's the heat index? It's been over 100 substantially for the entire afternoon. It's down to 96. Rain has cooled it off a little bit. And we still have a 90% chance of showers in the area over the next hour. The big stuff, that's coming later tonight. Severe storm threat. So make sure you have your Rich Thomas weather app. It's free at the App Store. In the meantime, if the heat is knocking you down physically, your best ally is a phone call away at Montgomery Men's Health. Because low testosterone level, saps you of energy, vigor, strength, and in these kind of conditions, it can make it even seem worse. And it's nothing unusual. It's actually rather common with men over the age of 40, but it can happen even younger. Just like ED and other issues can happen even younger. But Montgomery Men's Health can restore that rejuvenation, that liveliness in your step, so to speak, your libido, if that's been MIA, all of those things, even burning of calories, being overweight is the leading cause of ED. Montgomery Men's Health has helped men lose collectively thousands of pounds and gotten them back in the game, so to speak, in the boudoir. So if those areas of your life, if you're avoiding intimacy because you're not sure, that's when you pick up the phone and call 334-440-3663. Get that test. It's very simple. And the good news is, if your T level is low, that can be fixed medically by FDA-approved treatments in a place that's a medical clinic run by a board-certified urologist. That's really important. And solutions for ED and PE and other issues that are not widely known, but all, again, medical FDA-approved solutions that can give you your confidence back. They can even help if you have concerns about size. 334-440-3663 or MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. All right, let's see how we're running on the road. Here is Skipper.
Well, we believe our earlier accidents have cleared on the interstates, 85 northbound and 65 northbound. Still have some congestion on 85 northbound between Wall and Shorter. In Montgomery, got rain in the area. Traffic really beginning to build on the boulevards, interstates. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic. Keep it here. We will keep you updated. Davis Store and Sash has quality replacement windows and doors. Save 10% on materials when you mention this ad. Visit DavisStoreandSashAlabama.com. Call 334-288-6010. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew. Former Fed Chairman Alan Greenspan has died. He was celebrated for engineering a decade of prosperity, but later shared the blame for a devastating financial crisis. He passed away today at age 100. Vice President Vance says the U.S. and Iran have laid the groundwork for a deal to keep the oil flowing through the Strait of Hormuz.
The vice president also suggested the U.S. could allow for the release of some frozen Iranian assets for purchases of American soy, corn, and wheat under U.S. and Qatari oversight.
As Jamie Keaton reporting, Illinois is set to impose a package of taxes targeting the tech sector.
The measures hit digital advertising, cryptocurrency investors, prediction markets, and social media platforms, and are expected to raise more than $800 million a year.
That is Ken Lorman reporting. At the close on Wall Street, the Dow was up 148 points, the NASDAQ down 351. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
And this is a painting of my grandfather, the only one he ever had made.
Sometime, take a close look around your house.
This sewing machine was my Aunt Mary's.
If you have possessions that are irreplaceable, consider this. Each year, over 65,000 American homes suffer a fire due to an electrical problem. Are our possessions safe? To know for sure, call Crosby Electric, your exclusive provider of CurrentSafe, the world's foremost home diagnostic system. Using high-tech equipment, Crosby Electric will check your hidden wiring, panel box, light switches, and electrical outlets to pinpoint potential problems and make sure your things are safe.
Oh, my daughter's second-grade art project. I'd die if something happened to this.
Some things can't be replaced by insurance. Don't wait another day. Call 272-2085 for an in-home no-obligation assessment or visit crosbyelectric.com. Don't just think it's safe. Know it's safe. Now you'll be safe with CurrentSafe.
Get ready for a legendary night of soul on November 25th. The Temptations take the stage at the Montgomery Performing Arts Center with special guest Ruben Studdard. It's the Temptations live on stage at the Impact. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and the box office. Don't miss the Temptations with special guest Ruben Studdard. One incredible night of classic soul and R&B.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet Arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. Makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
We get a lot of questions about what all we handle at Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader.
and we will handle all of your real estate needs.
We handle all your buying and selling needs, from your first home, next home, land, investment property, and even commercial properties.
We do it all and have the experience that shows you what makes us different.
So when you think real estate, think Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. Look us up on Facebook or give us a call at 334-368-6358. And let us show you who you have on your sign matters.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
What's next, Jesse Lynn?
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Vice President J.D. Vance says his lengthy talks with senior Iranian officials in Switzerland created a good foundation for a final deal to end the Iran war. Vance made the comment Monday after initial talks with Iran's parliamentary speaker. Vance and U.S. officials claimed progress on multiple fronts, including the establishment of measures to ensure the Strait of Hormuz stays open, and that a ceasefire holds in the fighting between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah militants in southern Lebanon. A federal judge has ruled that a revamped federal tool that state election officials have used in their effort to identify illegally registered non-citizen voters is unlawful and cannot be used. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 148 points. More details at srnnews.com.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
When I was feeling the stress of too much credit card debt, I looked at two different options: debt settlement and debt management. They may sound the same, but guess what? They're not. Debt settlement seemed like a quick fix, but I found out it would destroy my credit, create tax headaches, and hit me with huge fees. They actually told me to stop paying my bills. No way, not me. Then I turned to a debt management plan developed by the team at Trinity. They worked with my creditors, lowered my payments, reduced my interest, saved me thousands, and paid off my debt. And Trinity is a Christian company, which is important to me.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5496.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-936-5496.
It's happy hour, come gather around. Greg and Pamela break it all down. Talking politics and the whacked out world. Every headline makes the chaos swirl. It's time for a smoke break. David Johnson, Monday and Thursday on Happy Hour. Mr. Despy and Field Tuesday Spotlight on Happy Hour. Eddie stopped by on Friday with some snacks on Happy Hour. Laugh a little louder while the whole world swirls. Hanging out in the chat will change your world on Happy Hour. On Happy Hour. Oh, Happy Hour. On Happy Hour.
You know where it's always happy hour? At Georgia Floors Direct. That's where it's always happy hour. I mean, by that, I don't mean they have cocktails there. It's just a happy place. And I'm pretty sure this is Jeff Mallinson we're talking to now, correct?
It is Jeff Mallinson. How's everybody doing out there? Hope y'all are being safe on the way home this afternoon. You know, we're doing exactly what we do every day, what we've done for the last 50-plus years, and that's helping people make their homes beautiful, whether they want hardwood floors, laminate, LVP, maybe they want ceramic or porcelain tile, they want a nice kitchen backsplash, they want their shower done. You know, Georgia Floors Direct, we won the best flooring store for the last 5 years consecutive, but this year we won not only the best flooring store, but we won the best kitchen and bath remodel and the best place for blinds, shades, and shutters. So we can help you with all of those. As a matter of fact, before I left the store here, one of my merry band of lawyers, Matt McElroy, told me to give him a shout out. He told me to let all of you know that he has a house full of kids. All of them are going to need new school clothes and school shoes, and they're going to camps this summer. And so he needs y'all to come in and buy all of your floors, countertops, and blind shades and shutters from him, verbatim.
Awesome. Great guy. They're all great there. And I wasn't kidding about the happy hour part. This is a place that, when you have a nice home improvement, whether it's flooring or new window coverings or a new marble. I remember when you put in my marble countertop, I couldn't chop enough vegetables for a week because it was so nice to have that. I didn't have to worry about gouging for mica or leaving a stain that you couldn't get out with all the Comet in the world. Those are.
Well,
you make things.
Another thing.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say not only that, but not only do we do residential, Greg, but we do commercial work too. We do large commercial. We do Main Street commercial, just storefronts. We do churches. We are the category killer for flooring, window coverings, and countertops in the city of Montgomery. So I don't care where you shop, but my suggestion is make sure your last and final stop is Georgia Floors Direct. Don't pay too much. Don't settle for less service. Don't go to a place that's going to make you load it on a cart on your own. Come to Georgia Floors Direct, get the best price, get the best service, get it all done in one place.
You make the good things in life possible and affordable, Jeff. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. They're on the boulevard across from Lowe's, a flooring destination since 1969. Have a great afternoon and evening, my friend.
You too.
All right, the word is in. The official opening date for the new Baumhauers in Millbrook is the 30th. But I believe I will be up there the day before that for the... It's exciting because I've been with Bob, and I've known Bob for 40 plus years, but working with him here for 20. And this idea, the restaurant in Millbrook, has been something that's been on the table for discussion, for over a decade. But these things don't happen overnight, and many a person has made a reckless choice for a location with a restaurant and gone out of business quickly. So he's Bob's he's a fooder. He's absolutely involved in every detail of everything that goes on the menu. He knows what he's doing. He's not a jock who put his name on a restaurant and hoped people would buy his wings. He has earned it. We still got lots to discuss, and I got some clips I would like to play for you this afternoon. I also like to go through some of the comments we've had on stories like I still cannot believe 50 to 70 shots fired at a gas station on a busy road. But it happened here in Montgomery, just like it happened downtown. It also happened on the west side. And what are we going to get from the mayor's office on this? More bullcrap. It's almost not worth getting angry about. I shouldn't have a heart attack because he doesn't have a clue. But as Senator Tuberville has told you, the News Talk listener, on this very radio station, the cavalry is coming. So make sure you vote. Yeah, the turnout in that runoff was pathetic, like 10% or less in some precincts. Reviewing headlines. J.D. Vance says Iranians can be extremely confusing as negotiators. Well, there's a surprise. The new Air Force One doing practice landings at Andrews Air Force Base. Hope to see some video of that. Here's a call at 272-9228. Good afternoon. Who's this?
Crawdad.
What's up? I'm glad you're listening.
Yes, sir. As usual, every day. I was hearing about the gunshots again, but at 3:30 in the middle of the night, the little Foofus doggy, yours is the original Foofus, but this is Foofus 2 over here. Little
the sequel.
Guy. Yes, sir. Well, I wish he anyway. I'm off of Vaughn and between Perry Hill and Vaughn, you know. 3:30 in the morning, we're outside doing business. I hear 7 shots, pop, 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 as just not even 5 houses from me on Vaughn Road.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 rounds, 4 shots, and then 3. Smaller caliber, wasn't a 45, it had to be a 9 or somewhere in that area, smaller caliber.
Travel through that area all the time, in the afternoon, early in the morning, and believe me, I white knuckle it because you just never know when trouble's going to come flying out from somewhere.
it made me wonder, because if I heard that loud, that means that all the people right there where it happened, maybe somebody's house got hit or a car got hit, but it happened when two cars, one was going one direction, and then the other one is coming from the other direction and going east, south, and southeast, back and forth. So I called 911. The nice lady takes my information, but hopefully if somebody had property damage, they call and say, hey, I got a bullet hole in my car, my window, or something. That can help to triangulate a time frame and maybe substantiate a claim. People do need to make the call, whether you think it's going to work. Get the recording on there, because that might come up later to help you if something happened to you or your property.
Yeah.
So you're right about hearing, you see, because you're now over in the old Cloverdale. We grew up over there.
Yeah.
And all the time in years is like, wait a minute, that was more over there by College Street. And then this over there again. We would call it in. We were still here years ago, 4th of July. I'm at my mom's house. We're cooking out. All of a sudden, lots of gunshots. Mom says, that was very close. I said, Mom, that was guns. She says, no, it wasn't. That was not guns. I said, yes, it was. She didn't want to believe it. Then we got broken into. Then we got ripped off. All the jewelries. And then one day I get gun in my face, driveway, sitting. Guy pulls up with a pistol in my face. Give me your wallet. Rob me in broad daylight.
Wow.
No, you see, so this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And the thing is, we all know who's doing it. We all know who's doing it. But if you address it directly, you get called a racist. So
when I called the police, the guy stuck a gun in my face and took my wallet. He was mad at me because I only had $7. He said, I should shoot you now for wasting my time.
Yeah.
Now, when I called the police the next day, I said, I still remember his face. Can I come talk to you someday? Can I come talk to you? Can I look at the mug book? You know what they said when I said I want to look at the mug book? You can't come look at the mug book because you might pick out the wrong person.
Oh, well, why do they have it?
Exactly. Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Exactly.
Crawdad, got to run. Thanks for the call. Sorry about it just makes you feel hopeless. And we really don't want to get to that point, do we? 519. What's happening on the road, Skip?
Well, we believe our earlier accidents have cleared on the interstates, 85 northbound and 65 northbound. Still have some congestion on 85 northbound between Wall and Shorter. In Montgomery, got rain in the area. Traffic really beginning to build on the boulevards, interstates. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic. Keep it here. We will keep you updated. Davis Store and Sash has quality replacement windows and doors. Save 10% on materials when you mention this ad. Visit DavisStoreandSashAlabama.com. Call 334-288-6010. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. This is Rich Thomas. It's one of those summertime situations where we're going to see showers and thunderstorms well into the nighttime hours. In fact, the main storms for a lot of us could be late tonight. Could be some fireworks by late tonight with showers and thunderstorms, maybe on the strong side. So just be ready. They will fade out by the wee hours of the morning. Overnight low 73. Tomorrow, a routine day. In fact, the next few days will be all the same. Highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s with some showers and thunderstorms scattered and random in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, get help. A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror. And that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
It is 5:22. We have a call. Good afternoon.
Hey, sorry to bother you, Greg. It was the skipper.
Oh, I was just going to read. You're up to it. I'll take the phone call first. So let's do this.
That's one of the reasons I was calling you. I heard the traffic rolled, and it was just one of those ingest things where it pops up a little quick before the new one is supposed to run. Right lane on I-85 southbound, right at the bottom of East South Street. Traffic's pretty backed up right there because of that. They got fire department on the scene, no police, but we got a couple of vehicles there. They are working, trying to help those folks out, but only fire department on the scene, so be cautious, and thanks for your time.
Hey, by the way, thank you for that passionate plea on behalf of all the people who have accidents, call for police help, and sit and wait for hours. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was feeling a little defeated because I watch it every day, and again, right now as an example, this accident happened a few minutes ago. Fire department has shown up, but still no police. I've heard it dispatched, but nobody is on the scene yet. So I guess they're headed that way, but it's been a while since it's been dispatched. This is an ongoing problem that we have in Montgomery.
Yeah.
And you really need to start hammering, if you're listening, you really need to start hammering your city councilman about this. I know that they say they're working on it, and I know they say they're recruiting, but we are not seeing any effect.
Yeah, that's the thing. How about some results? That would be nice.
That would be nice. Thanks.
Appreciate your advocacy, man. You're a good guy.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you too.
All righty. 5:24. Oh, this is Larry Stevens, and I always like to talk in a deeper voice when I'm about to play one of his recordings.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama Sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
Tired of spending your weekends fighting weeds, patchy grass, and a mower that never starts? Mosley Lawn Pros is the solution. They handle residential and commercial lawn maintenance, landscaping, cleanups, and property care so you don't have to. They show up on time, do the job right, and leave your lawn looking sharp every time. Stop stressing over your yard and start loving it. When it comes to your lawn, call the crew your neighbors and local businesses trust. One call, one crew, problem solved. Mosley Lawn Pros, built on hard work, driven by quality. Find them today on Facebook or Google.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At eBike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. eBike Oasis offers free 1-hour electric bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by eBike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
The time of the tone, 5:26.
second longest day. Whoa, second longest day. It's officially the summertime, so it's staying light till almost 9. At the end of June, sun's still out with the rising moon. Stay outside on the second longest day. Whoa. Second longest day. Whoa.
It is true. The days are getting shorter.
Leon's getting larger.
You probably knew I was going to play that.
Yes.
All right, I think we have a call. Good afternoon. Who's this?
This is Vicky R.
Vicky R. How are you, Vicky?
Yes. I'm okay. We're talking about the length of time that it's taken for police to respond to accidents.
Yes.
I was hit on April 27th, turning into Cornerstone Shopping Center on Bone Road.
Yeah,
My
I know where
car
that is.
was in the far right lane, and the entrance to Cornerstone was blocked by the woman who hit me. All the emergency calls went off at 10 after 4. An accident investigator got there at 10 till 6.
10 till 6.
10 till 6. Meanwhile, now, we've got Bone Road blocked, the whole right lane of Bone Road.
Oh,
and
man.
the entrance to Cornerstone. So I used to work with the police department years ago, and I do know that people will get aggravated if they see a police car who passes by an accident. They're not prepared to do the accident investigation. That's a specialized bureau. Bureau may be the wrong word at this time because he told me there are 2 accident investigators in the Montgomery Police Department.
2?
2.
In a city of 200,000 people? That's ridiculous.
There were 2 accident investigators because he apologized for the long wait, but he was at another one. And I see 2 accidents in, half a mile sometimes, but that is all they have, and that is the delay right there in responding to accidents.
That's just unacceptable
It is.
at any level.
It is. It is. But I just thought I would share that since he told me, because I asked him how many. So,
Vicky, I appreciate the
that's what
call.
we stick with it.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Good afternoon. Who's this?
Hey, Greg, it's Chris. What's up?
Hey, Chris. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind?
Sure. Well, the lady called earlier just a minute ago about the city of Montgomery, because they cannot hire police officers. We went out and they found an organization that Stephen Reed. They were going to pay. They already paid him like $250,000, and then we went back and looked at the contract and tore it up and told them to take a hike. You're aware of that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, the bottom line is the bottom line to all this is that the city of Montgomery cannot hire police, and it's not because of our pay, which is, I think, relatively competitive. It's because of our leadership. And they don't want to come work for Stephen Reed.
Exactly.
When you have him hugging up with Gavin Newsom and
Yeah.
all this, and what police officer in their right mind would want to come here? And the folks that work here, I have this crime app that everybody has now. You can listen to the police officers talk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these guys are scattered, and gals are scattered all over the place, having to get to like the shootout at the raceway, and they're having to come from all over the city just to come to that horrible event that they had there. And so the ultimate problem is the leadership, and no one wants to work for the guy.
Yeah.
And it's just the bottom line. I mean, let's just say it like it is. It would be like you going to work at a business and you had no respect or had any type of relationship that you could, feel like the guy has your back or anything.
Exactly.
You wouldn't go to work for, right?
I've had that experience in radio with a change of program directors, and the guy that comes in, you just know you're not his pick, and it's awful. It is one of the worst experiences you can have in any profession. Much
And
less
then you
this
got
one.
A.C. Smith, who got thrown in jail. That guy, no one backed him up. Unfortunately, he's a rookie cop. I think it was maybe 2 years out. They throw him in one of the most dangerous districts in the city in Montgomery, and then the gun guy gets shot and killed, and then it's thrown back in his face. It's all the cops' fault. So that's another layer on top of this whole story.
Yeah.
Why no one wants to come to work here?
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
yeah. So
And when you disagree with this mayor or start asking tough questions about the Raceway shootout, they always got to play the race card at that time. We know who's doing this stuff. We know who's in the mugshots.
Right. If you ask any questions the city of Montgomery for a FOIA request, they're not going to give it to you. They will give you the 1819 News has a story today about some money being spent, and they wouldn't request. They requested it, and they denied them. I've done the same. They denied me on my FOIA request. Other people I've known, they just are unwilling to release any type of information. The other sad part is the city council, who there's some good folks on there. Don't get me wrong.
There's a couple.
Yeah, but they're unwilling to really stand up and say, look, something fundamentally is wrong with us withholding all this information. And I don't know if it's because they don't want bad stuff to come out, or, maybe things are a little worse than they are. Maybe they're better. I don't know. But they will not allow any information to come out about what's going on in the city.
This whole democratic approach to education, police, all of this. We live in a blue city, and it sucks. It sucks. Yeah. Our schools are failures. This is why we have kids with nothing better to do on Saturday night but blow each other's brains out. Because they get greased through school. They have a diploma that really means nothing because the idea is just get them out so we can get the money from the government.
Yeah.
And the priority is not actually helping them if they have issues or things they need to overcome, getting the help available. Yet we keep spending $250,000 a year for superintendents and changes there, and nothing ever changes. It only gets worse.
Well, I think one of the kids, I say is a young adult that was 18 years old that was shot there, I want to say he either played at JAG or Park Crossing. He was a junior. He was like a junior, maybe about to be a senior this year.
God,
I might be wrong about that, but I mean, there's I'm not say Holocaust. It kind of is of black men in this city, and we have the EJI, we have SPLC, we have Mayor Reed, we have these other leaders of the black community, and no one cares. No one cares. They're mowing young black men and women down.
Yep.
And they're not white people; they're black people.
Yep.
And no one seems to give two rips. No one cares.
As long as nobody addresses that head on. And I'll tell you what, I have empathy because the reason things have not changed, are not getting better, and we continue to have this kind of violence, not only here, but everywhere else in a big blue city, is nobody wants to address this in a realistic way. We've got fatherless homes, kids who are raised like wolves. So the gang becomes their family. And some of them, you look at the mugshots on these kids, and they've got the dead eyes. They don't look like they care. It's sickening. It's sad. But there's got to be a determination from within to change this.
Well, overwhelming force. I hate to be that way, and we can't do that nowadays. Overwhelming force. Hopefully, Tupperville will come in. We'll see state police back out here again.
Yeah.
Overwhelming force, overwhelming presence. And I've been saying this, and I put on Nextdoor, and people I know who I am. They have got to put a police substation on Carmichael Road.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That place is a complete and utter disaster. My wife drives through there. I'm scared that gunfire will hit her one day.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like me feel the same way. That place is a absolute third world disaster, and it needs to change quickly. Or someone else is going to, like Amy Dix, is going to happen there at Carmichael Road. And, I said what I can say.
I hope you listen Wednesday afternoon. Dr. David Thrasher, who has been the number one activist in trying to compel change from city leadership. And then we get things like, he offers a job, job development or something like that to an ex-con. I mean, aren't there better people? Why do we have to go with the buddy system with this mayor? It's always...
I don't know. Hey, another thing, another bad look, too, and I hate to say this is the truth. They had the Dixie Youth, or now it's called Diamond Youth Baseball stuff going on at Lagoon, and those games finished up, and guess who were driving through that intersection at the same time? And so it was as Thrasher's son was.
Yeah.
Those people from all over the state, folks, drove through and saw that going on at 6:30 in the afternoon. And that could have been a kid driving through there with a parent, and a bullet goes right through that car and kills him dead.
And I have not heard anything of substance from the mayor's office today. I got to run. Thank you for a great call.
Sure. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too. And let's grab this one before we take the break. Good afternoon.
Hey, TK. It's TK.
Hey, TK.
I used to live in Auburn, and I moved because it's gone to hell just like Montgomery has. But probably 8 or 10 years, probably 8 years ago, I lived on the corner of Moore's Mill and Dean Road, and every month or so there would be an accident there. And we're sitting in the house finishing up supper, and boom! And it's like, okay. I go out to my truck. I was working construction. I had some orange vests. My son and I went out there with our flashlights. We go out there to check on the occupants of the car, and they were okay. Of course, we called 911 before we left the house. But anyway, so we're out there, and about 2 or 3 minutes later, the fire department shows up. But my son and I are out there with our flashlights and our vests. We're directing traffic in the intersection. And maybe 10 minutes later, cops showed up, and it's like, this guy pulls up, and I'm got my hand out, telling him to stop. We got people in the street. We got cars here. And said, well, I'm going to go through. And it's like, he starts cussing at me, and it's like, by that time, a cop had pulled up, and he's sitting over on the sidewalk, and I said, you need to take care of this, because I'm going to yank him out of this car and beat the shit out of him. And it's like,
I'm sorry. I appreciate the passion of your call. There are certain words we just can't broadcast. I'm not mad, but I want you to understand why I had to cut the call short. Hey, all of this chaos, it's enough to make you really want to pig out on some awesome barbecue. And the place to do that is Smoky Notes. They came in Thursday and fed me and Pamela. It was so good. I got to tell you, everything they make is great. We had chicken, we had ribs, but the brisket, their chef was here in the studio. It's really a 24-hour process because everything to be just right, especially the brisket, has to be started like in the morning. So they're on this like it's a 24-hour cycle, but that's why the brisket is so awesome at Smoky Notes. Try the brisket melt, done that. The Monte Cristo. You got pulled pork and chicken and just an incredible array of sauces, but their sides are outstanding. If it were a contest, I couldn't pick a winner, but I'll tell you what, the competition between their homemade coleslaw, the potato twists, green beans, yes, green beans, done their way, an absolute winner. Cabbage with Conecuh sausage and a little spice. Potato salad, the baked beans are amazing, and the mac and cheese, wow. It's almost so thick you have to cut it with a fork, put it on a spoon, but that's the way I like it. At Smoky Notes, they've got every sauce on the planet available, and everything they do is homemade. And you must try, they got great starters on the menu, but you must try the boudin balls. They are sensational. There is nothing on this menu that I wouldn't eat right now. And not just because I'm hungry, but just looking at the Smoky Notes menu can inspire that. Every cut starts with smoke at Smoky Notes. Open Monday for lunch from 11 to 2. Tuesday through Sunday from 11 to 11 p.m. Drinks starting at $2.99. And if you'd like to call them for an order, 649-1110. 649-1110 here in the 334 for Smoky Notes on Northeastern Boulevard, right near that Petro station, close to Lagoon Park. All right, off to the traffic dungeon. Blue Water News with Sky Mosley next.
Well, traffic is moving just a little better. 85 southbound at the interchange. We had an accident. Those vehicles are now off on the right. Police are now on the scene. Fire department arrived first to help those folks out. Traffic is still moving a little bit slow, though, on 85 southbound. And everywhere else, we're just busy this afternoon. Rain in the area. Keep it here. We'll keep you updated. Imagine graduating high school with your college degree already in your hand. That's the power of early college at Trenton State Community College. No debt, no delay, just a college degree. Go to TrentonState.edu for more information. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Bath Innovations. Call Bath Innovations today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Montgomery police are investigating a weekend shooting in a West Montgomery neighborhood. The shooting happened just before 11 p.m. Saturday night in the area of Taft and Erskine Streets. More than a dozen law enforcement officers blocked off the area near West Fairview and I-65. No arrests were made. An adult male shooting victim was transported to a local hospital in serious condition. Hope Hull residents will vote on whether to incorporate in a special election July 14th. Eligible voters who live in the proposed area will decide whether Hope Hull should become an incorporated municipality. Incorporation would make Hope Hull a legally recognized town, allowing residents to form a local government. A death investigation is underway after a man's body was found floating in a small Millbrook lake. The body was found in the area of Lakeview Drive, which borders the lakeshore community and Sandtown Road. The remains appear to be that of a black man, approximately 30 to 50 years of age, weighing about 200 pounds. Currently, there are no reports of any missing person from the area that match the man's description. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Bath Innovations of Alabama can replace your old bathtub with a low-step shower featuring built-in seating, secure grab bars, and slip-resistant flooring, often installed in as little as 1 day. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
Whether it's AC or heating or plumbing that you're needing, whatever you require, call Lou Quire.
Don't let plumbing problems strain your wallet or back up your day. Lou Quire's experienced plumbers can get there right away. Call the pros the Montgomery area has trusted for decades to get things done right. Lou Quire offers 24/7 emergency service so your home can run smoothly day and night. License number 22154.
Whatever you require, call Lou Quire right now.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Well, hi, everybody. This is Rich Thomas. It's one of those summertime situations where we're going to see showers and thunderstorms well into the nighttime hours. In fact, the main storms for a lot of us could be late tonight. Could be some fireworks by late tonight with showers and thunderstorms, maybe on the strong side. So just be ready. They will fade out by the wee hours of the morning. Overnight low 73. Tomorrow, a routine day. In fact, the next few days will be all the same. Highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s with some showers and thunderstorms scattered and random in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
News happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Did you just eat an onion? I can't kiss you right now. You wanted a ring on your finger, but your pie hole is smelling foul. Just a few more hours till I can get close to you. I'll bring you a box of breath mints, 'cause Beth, you smell like poo.
Oh, what
Beth, you smell like poo.
Well, it's Kiss Day and Onion Ring Day. There's a day for everything. I guess that's the gist of that. I want to take a couple of minutes to share some personal thoughts. One, the passing of Clive Davis, age 94. If you really want some insights on how hit records are made, there's a biography. Rich Thomas and I watched it a few years back. I think it was for his 90th birthday or something. He passed away at 94. This guy had an ear for making an artist, understanding why they may not have gone anywhere, and then directing them. Billy Joel is one great example. I saw Billy Joel open for Elton John a long time ago. You know that year. And I thought he was boring. And you know what? He was. Clive Davis heard his first album and said, young man, if you're really going to sell records and make a name, you're going to have to come up with something people want to listen to. A lot of people want to listen to. And not long after getting that advice, Piano Man, which I've heard to death, but The Longest Time and other songs, and Billy Joel came up with a string of hits. Did it for Whitney Houston, did it for a lot of artists. So he was one of the few great talent evaluators and directors in the history of top 40, right, which doesn't really exist anymore, but popular music. If you can find that biography, it might be on YouTube. Watch it, because it'll make a lot of sense out of everything you've ever heard on the radio if you listen to music stations. Of course, you're here now, and we're glad. We're not trying to run you off. But quite the guy. In fact, I was thinking about watching that this evening because he's an absolutely fascinating guy. You know, it also gets into the time before and after Whitney Houston's passing because he had a major impact on her career. I remember when she died, I was contacted by one of the local TV stations. They came out to my house for some comment, and I said, well, there's a known drug history there, and she's 48, so she didn't die from old age. So maybe she relapsed. Who knows? I got this from the Chevy Chase documentary. I talked about it Thursday afternoon late. You might have missed it, but what people don't understand is how difficult it is for somebody to rocket to the top of their class, top of their field, like he did, like she did. And then suddenly you're a star. And everything you do is under an extra level of scrutiny. The Chevy Chase documentary, I'm Chevy Chase and You're Not, is worth a watch. And my daughter, so many people called Chevy an a-hole. And my daughter and I watched it together over the weekend, and she said, God, you're so much like him. That made me think. But poor, you're suddenly money and fame. It's not as easy as you think it is, because I've seen it up close and personal. 1 minute you're just like everybody else. You're struggling to succeed. When you want a relationship, you have to work to make it happen. And you get famous, whether it's nationally or in a local market, like it was for me in Florida. You don't have to work for anything, especially sex. It's in your face. There are people there that want to party with you, so they bring the drugs. And it can get real crazy and real dangerous. So I'm very empathetic. And with Chevy especially, the reason everybody at SNL, including I think Lorne Michaels, seems to have forgotten why that show was a success in the first place. It's because there were no sacred cows. SNL went after anything and everybody. Nothing was off limits. The classic case being the Chevy Chase Richard Pryor skit, which is still hilarious because it's a skit. And it cuts both ways. But now, in the never-ending effort to not hurt anybody's feelings and to be correct and to be viewed as a good person, somebody like Chevy, who was weaned on the no sacred cows, suddenly, every cow has some level of sacredity to it. Is that a word? It may not be. If it's not, I apologize. On that note, let's check in with the infamous Skipper one last time.
Well, traffic's still moving a bit slow on 85 southbound up to the 65 merge. We had an accident much earlier right at the bottom of East South Street at the ramp there, and traffic still moving slowly, but we're looking pretty good around the city. Still a bit busy on East South Boulevard, I-65 and 85 overall, light to moderate traffic. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka looking good at the moment. We'll keep you updated. Come by Thompson Tractor in Montgomery and check out their incredible selection of used equipment at their used equipment sales center. See the machines that get the big jobs done. Thompson Tractor off I-85 just past Chantilly Parkway. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
One more time, I just want to welcome our new sponsor. I've been with the Clark family for every generation. And the latest is the greatest. That's Robbie. And he is now on his own with Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning. And this guy is just amazing. So if you don't have a relationship with a heating and air specialist, I can't recommend him enough. He's young, handsome, sharp, and knows how to diagnose and troubleshoot. And we're proud to have him on. 24/7 emergency service available. You can reach out at 334-245-3644. And anytime you don't get to jot down on it, you can always message me through Facebook or whatever. And they have service agreements starting at $149 for one system. Can't go wrong. The Clarks have the history, and Robbie is just the latest example. That's Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning, and welcome to Happy Hour.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
At Sweet Creek Farm Market in Pike Road, you'll find farm fresh, locally grown produce all season long. Alabama tomatoes, Hilton County peaches, sweet corn, squash, zucchini, cucumbers, peas, butter beans, farm fresh eggs, local meat, milk, and so much more. Many of the fruits and vegetables come straight from Sweet Creek Farm's own fields. Visit Sweet Creek Farm Market today, just south of Montgomery on Highway 231. Remember, buy fresh, buy local, buy Sweet Creek Farms.
Behind every clean lobby, every polished boardroom, every safe, spotless workplace, there's Janney King Franchise Center, who takes pride in making it happen. These are your neighbors, people who live here, work here, and care about the businesses that shape our community. They show up, they follow through, and they make sure your facility is ready for the day, every day. That's why companies across the community trust Janney King as their local cleaning partner. Visit JanneyKingCleans.com today.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind.